What is up, y'all? Yeah, where am I? I was over there at Jeremy's live stream. Yeah, the guy that he had on there, I got to go to his basement and film his fish room. And that video, Jeremy thinks it's already uploaded. He forgot. It's uploaded, but it doesn't come out till Monday. But he does have some really awesome stuff, and he knows his stuff. Oh my gosh, that guy is amazing. And he got me wanting to get into fish club big time, you know. Um, he's the vice president of Jeremy's club, and he's the one that, organizes all of their meetings and everything every month, and he gets all these people to come into their fish club to speak every month. And he's got like Dan's Fish coming. I think he's got Rachel O'Leary. She came last year, but he's got her coming back, I believe, at the beginning of next year. But yeah, Chris Carpenter is amazing. Um, the stinkiest thing about it is my video. I shot an intro in his fish room with him and Jeremy in the intro, and then I also shot one of his fish racks that had like 8 tanks on it, and both of those clips are completely gone. I don't know. There was a couple of times when I was at Jeremy's that happened. There was one at the LFS, that watercolors, where I lost a clip there. So whenever I got back, I reformatted my my disc and everything, and it seems to be working fine now. I was having troubles getting everything uploaded too. So, but anyhow, that guy that was just on Jeremy's live stream, Chris, is awesome. I mean, it was really nice of him to allow me to come down. I mean, he made me fall in love with shell dwellers. I was already in love with them, but like he's dropped some knowledge in this video that he's learned over the years that is just amazing. Like, there's 2 tanks. I had to put a disclaimer at the beginning of the video because these videos are long videos and some people might get bored. So I put a disclaimer at the beginning of the video to make for sure and watch till the end, because he drops so much knowledge. But there's a couple of tanks at the end of the video that are his big display tanks, and both of them have a really awesome story that he's done some really cool stuff with that it's really neat. I mean, it's just knowledge that you can't just know. It's from years of learning it. All right, so today I got to meet someone that's in the chat here, and it was really awesome. I left my house at like 6:45 this morning, and I drove to Davenport, Iowa. It's a little over 2 hours. I had to stop at Iowa City first and load up my van, but then I went over to Davenport, Iowa for an ALS, to defeat ALS walk. They raise some money, and the families come out and they walk with their loved ones, and in support of defeating that nasty disease of ALS. And as most of you guys know, my day job is selling wheelchairs and different equipment for people with disabilities in the ALS Association. I work very close with them. I handle their loan closet here in Iowa, and all that kind of goodies. And I work with the Muscular Dystrophy Association too, but this one was the ALS Association. Well, Daryl Deemer, who's in the chat right now, he heard that I was going to be in Davenport, and he lives fairly close to Davenport, over into Illinois a little ways, and he reached out to me and he's like, hey, this LFS that John Bedker was talking to us about the other night on the live stream, why don't we meet up and go to that thing? And we did, and it was really awesome. For one, getting to meet Daryl Deemer. I mean, Daryl has been in every live stream that I can ever imagine for the longest time. To me, Daryl is like Fish Fam royalty, and he is an amazing person. He's such a nice gentleman, and it was really awesome to get to meet him. So if you guys want to see a picture of me and Daryl together, go over to my Instagram, Jeffroz Insta. I posted a picture of me and Daryl together, but this won't be my regular LFS to go to all the time because it's over 2 hours away from me. but I do go to Davenport quite often for work, so I can see myself stopping by there again. Next weekend, um, they're having a 25th anniversary big gathering. There's supposedly going to be like 600 people there. They're going to have food. They're going to have dollar per gallon sale on aquariums. I believe he said up to like 75 gallons. I might be wrong, but I know the 40 gallon breeders and the 55 gallon aquariums are for sure going to be on the dollar per gallon, and you know those big box stores don't do that. And then they're going to have like a 25% off of livestock, and they do reptiles, they have saltwater, they have freshwater. The store is amazing. I mean, the tanks are clean. They've got just about everything that you can think of. Really good dry goods selection. I was talking to him about coming back over and doing a fish room video, and he said no problem. He's all about that. He said he did have a YouTuber come one time about 5 years ago, Ted Judy. I haven't looked up the video yet to see if it's still on YouTube, but I will definitely look at that before I go back to film. But I'm thinking about possibly going over to this thing, and any of my subscribers that are in Illinois or Iowa want to come over to it, reach out to me on Instagram, and maybe we'll do some kind of a little YouTube meetup thing and go on over there. I know that I could probably get a couple of 40-gallon breeders for sure. I'm all about that. So yeah, so today was an awesome day. I got to do something for work that was a good cause. They raised $75,000. Their goal was $65,000, but they raised $75,000 for a cure against ALS, which is awesome. And yeah, I got to bring some equipment, so some of the people that wasn't able to bring their equipment had something to use while they were on their walk, because obviously they couldn't walk the whole distance or something, you know, so that was a big part of what I did. And yeah, Dank says I looked really happy in that picture with Daryl. It was a big honor for me, guys. You know, people like Daryl, you know already that they're going to be awesome people, but then when you actually get to meet them, and it was just kind of heartwarming to get to meet him. So anyhow, enough about that. Let's go to the chat and see who all is here. I know the chat wasn't hopping like it normally is. Tonight might end up being a slow night. I thought Wednesday night was going to be slow, and Wednesday night ended up breaking a record. We had, I think, 42, either 42 or 45 people here at one time Wednesday night. It was a banger. I mean, that thing was hopping the whole time. I don't know what happened there, but ended up having a really good live stream Wednesday night. But anyhow, of course, Dank Tanks is in the house. What is up, Dank? Daryl Deemer is in the house. What is up, Daryl? Long time no see. What is up, Daryl? Mary RNH2O is in the house. What is up, Mary? Nice to see ya. BB23 is in the house. What's up, my fellow fish nerds? Who you calling nerd, BB23? I like, he commented on Jeremy's stream earlier, not really into shell dwellers, I'm more into guppy dwellers, or something like that, you know. I'm a live bearer guy myself, but going to Jeremy's, fell in love with the Severums. Those Severums are bad to the bone, you know. I might end up one of these days getting into some of those things, you know. And then the shell dwellers, they're a peaceful fish, and like in my video that's coming up this Monday, there's some shell dwellers that breed peacefully and colonize peacefully in one aquarium, and you don't have to pull eggs or fry or anything like that. They allow their fry to grow up in the community, into the colony. And those would be a lot of fun because, you know, like my plecos, they go and put their eggs in a cave, and I can pull the cave out and scrape the eggs out into a breeder box and put some air stones on it, and they hatch in a few days and everything's good. But these fish, Some of them deposit them on something that you can take the cone or something out of the aquarium and you can scrape the eggs off. But then there's others, like the shell dwellers, they put theirs inside a shell. Um, but most of your shell dwellers, or I say most, I'm not really trained on shell dwelling raising, but there's a lot of shell dwellers out there that once they've got eggs or fry or something like that, you've got to either get the fry out or the family out, and it can kind of get kind of hard when you're in there with the net trying to get something that can go into its little home, which is a shell. And yeah, so one that's what I would recommend if you're going to start into a beginner shell dwelling. If you want to breed them, would be get one of those types that can community colonize right there in one tank, and you'll find out what species that is if you watch Monday's video. Okay, 54 Punchy is in the house. What is up, Pam? She says, hey, fishy internet peoples. What is up, Pam? Welcome to the live stream. Candy Overalls is in the house. What is up, Candy? Nice to see you. Hopefully everything's going good for you today. Or tonight, sorry. Let's see here. Jad Orsi is in the house. I'm cooking dinner, but I'm here. What is up, Jad? Nice to see you here. Snake with Braces is here. What is up, Snake with Braces? Welcome to the live stream. Mr. D is in the house. What is up, Mr. D? Welcome to the live stream. Real Thing for You Fish Tanks is in the house. Cheers, Real Thing for You. Welcome to the live stream, buddy. Nice to see ya. Looks like we've got 22 people showing up. Oh, also, I did see earlier in the chat, Daryl had commented that he got one of my shirts. Thank you, Daryl. I appreciate that. And then I don't know if very many people in here know it, but Wednesday night I was talking in the chat about how I had a spike in subscribers the other day, and I knew that there was something up with it. I just don't get 60 subscribers in one day ever. I mean, unless somebody shares me out or whatever. Well, Valley Fish had mentioned in the chat that Wichita Falls Fish Keeping or something like that had mentioned that Corey earlier in the week had purchased one of my shirts, had a picture of it on him in front of the tanks in the Mubu studio, and posted that on his community tab. So that is really awesome, guys. I mean, Corey from Aquarium Co-op, the whole crew over there, Jimmy, everyone is really awesome people. For him to do something like that, it was really a big honor, and it was kind of cool seeing Corey in one of my shirts. It was like, so shout out to Corey from Aquarium Co-op. That was really, really awesome of him to do. And yeah, so supporting even the little guys, so, and he's looking good, man. Somebody had commented on that picture. I know black makes you look thin and everything, and I've never met Corey in person, and so I don't know if he's not thin or he is thin or whatever, but it definitely, my shirt, they're all black. That's the only color you can get them in. It makes you look thin, guys. So anyhow, moving on. Bear's Fish is in the house. What is up, Bear? Nice to see you, buddy. Let's see, who else is here? Pam says, daughter is here to pick up her snake and axolotl I have been babysitting. We'll miss them. Hopefully we'll be back before the stream is over. All right. I've often thought those axolotls would be kind of fun to keep. Actually, when the Turtle Girl did her little piece and Bob Steenfott's, I'm just now noticing my bed. Look at how messy my bed is back there. Oh my gosh. Oh well. Bob Steenfott did this, he did a couple of videos where YouTubers sent out, small little 3-minute clips of, one of their fish tanks or something. And the Turtle Girl did a piece in the same one that I was in the very first one that he did, and I actually learned a lot from that. She knows her stuff. Let's see here. Who else has showed up? King and Queen Cichlids is here. Says hello to all. Well, what is up? Welcome to the live stream. I don't think you've ever been here before, but if you have, I'm sorry, but thank you for stopping by. I don't know if you've been here for the whole stream, but I did see you over in Jeremy's live stream, and Chris's video. I know Jeremy had mentioned at the end that I did make a video, but it won't be live until Monday morning. I did 5 videos while I was out there visiting with Jeremy, and you know, I scheduled them all out, and this is the last video from my visit to Jeremy's, and it's a good one. Chris really knows his stuff, and he has a really awesome fish room, and it was really nice of him to allow me to come film it, you know. And he's all about fish clubs. Like in my video, he's showing these fish that he has in this tank, and they're expensive, high dollar, you know, primo fish, and he got them all for free from the fish club, you know. And that makes me really want to get involved, because, you know, like I just recently mailed out some fish to Priscilla for her birthday, and you know, all I really had to do for her birthday money-wise was pay for the shipping, you know, because I feel like, you know, like Chris was saying at the end of the stream, if you have some young fish keepers that are new to the hobby, give them some fish, you know, and that's something that I really want to get behind there too. What is up, Dank? I already said Dank, but what is up, Dank? Lisa Aquatics is in the house. I just realized that I'm way behind in the chat. What is up, Lisa? Nice to see you. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. Science Gal Aquatics is here. Aquarium Cop is here. What is up, Aquarium Cop? Been ages since I've seen you. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for coming, man. Nice to see you. Hopefully your back is doing better. I know the last time that I seen you in a live stream, probably not the last time, but I hadn't seen you in a while in anyone's live streams, and I saw you a while back somewhere, and you had some issues with your back. So hopefully that's going better. Back issues, I don't know personally. I've just, you know, in the past I've had a little bit of stuff down in my sciatic nerve. I used to have to deliver really heavy equipment all the time, and you know, I've known a lot of people that have back issues, and hopefully yours is doing better. What is up, Charlie? Welcome to the live stream. Just in case I didn't catch you coming in there. Let's see, who else? Benoxky Tank is here. What is up, Benoxky? I don't know why everybody always messes that up, but it is kind of a tongue twister. It's like that Corey Boy Aquatics. It's like there's just something about it. Yeah, Candy says, y'all make me jealous with your great LFSs. My LFS isn't like magical or anything. It's not very big, but I do go to him for a lot of things, you know. Like the watercolors one that I went to the other day, that one was huge. They had a lot of saltwater stuff, which I don't do saltwater, and the one that I went to today with Daryl, they had a lot of saltwater stuff there too, but they had a lot of freshwater stuff. I mean, they even had some crystal shrimp in there, and I didn't even see any crystal shrimp at the one up in Michigan. So yeah, this one's not going to be like a regular LFS that I go to all the time, but I did make a really good contact. I mean, this guy's the same owner for the last 25 years, it seemed like. And yeah, I mean, any aquarium store that's been there that long and, you know, doing this good, you know, it's got to be doing something right. Dang, Tank says, Jeffro looked so happy in that picture. I read that 20 minutes ago. Wow, you guys have just been sitting here listening to me talk. All right, I am at the bottom of the chat, or I thought I was. Oh my gosh. Michael from Mile High Plecos is here. What is up, Michael? Nice to see you, buddy. How far behind is he in the chat? Well, I'm at the bottom now. It accidentally scrolled way down. Oh well. Oh well. What's up, Buttercup? Honeybee is in the house. What is up, Honeybee? Nice to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Pebs13 is here. I'm glad I went back up. I'm missing some people. What is up, Pebs13? Welcome to the live stream. I'm just gonna scroll up. Oh, Steve's Fishy Palace is here. I agree, Candy. It's quite enjoyable. Hey, Dank. Let's see here. Just want to make sure that I didn't miss anybody coming in. It is so hot in this room. Oh my gosh. Yeah, everybody's bringing up my Nightbot thing. This link works for Jeff's shirts. Oh, thanks, Candy. Appreciate that. Wednesday stream kind of got comical, and I almost, if it wouldn't have been for Dan, I didn't want to mess up Dan's fish. See, Dan's fish goes live after me every Wednesday night, and I try to send everybody over there to it, and I try to be prompt and get off right at on time because, you know, I don't want to take away from his stream, you know, and I had Nightbot turned on, and that was the first stream that I had it turned on. And the only reason why I had it turned on was to, you know, do different things throughout the chat to maybe remind people to ask questions and yada yada yada. Corey from Aquarium Co-op and me had been talking, and he recommended it to me, and you know, I've been in some of his streams before where he used it and it never really was a problem, but my Nightbot was really picky and was just picking at people, and KG Cichlids was here and he was using that to his advantage to just troll, you know, and it really got kind of comical at the end. I mean, they kicked KG completely off, which I know that he wasn't mad. He was doing it on purpose. But as soon as the stream was over, I removed Nightbot, and I learned my lesson, you know. I'm just not ready for Nightbot yet, guys. I don't really need it anyhow. You know, it just is what it is. Oh, let's see here. All right, so I'm going to go back down in the chat. If I did miss you, I didn't do it on purpose. And welcome to the live stream anyhow. We're 22 minutes in, and I really have nothing to talk about. Wednesday nights, I'm going to try to do that night a Q&A, you know. Try to promote you guys to do some questions. Like I said the other night on the live stream, if there's 30 people in the chat, which there usually always is, at least 30 people in the chat, 30 people ask one question, which one question is really easy, you know. If 30 people ask one question and it takes me 2 minutes to answer each question, that's an hour live stream right there. So I'm hearing some splashing behind me. I don't know which tank it was. See that big cooler back there? I brought home some fish from the LFS today, but it's nothing special. Since it was over a 2-hour drive, he hooked me up with a cooler and some cool packs and everything, and didn't charge me extra. He said he has tons of it laying around. He said it's kind of nice to be able to get rid of some of it. So John Bedker is in the house. What is up, John? John says aquatic environments is small but very nice. Great food prices. Did you check out any of the reptiles? I did. They have awesome reptile equipment. They have awesome reptiles, snakes, lizards, frogs. They've got the whole 9 yards there, and everything that you can think of for dry goods. And yeah, fresh water, salt water. And like I said, John, I don't know if you were here in the chat earlier, but this coming Saturday is their 25th anniversary, and they're going to fill the parking lot full of aquariums, and they're going to have a $1 per gallon sale all the way up to, I want to say, 75 gallons. I know for a fact 55s and 40s are on there, but I'm pretty positive they said the 75 gallons are on there too, and then 25% off of all livestock. And I'm pretty sure Daryl's talking about coming back, and I'm thinking about coming back. They're going to have food. You know, they're going to have shirts and stickers and blah, 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 blah. I mean, the list goes on and on. If you go to their Facebook, they've got it promoted on their Facebook, and right now they have over 300 people. I think he even said they had 600 people saying that they're going, but maybe it was 300 or 400. I can't remember, but anyhow, that sounds like a good time that I'm pretty sure that I'm going to go to. It starts at 10, so that would be nothing for me to go over. So yeah, I'd really like to do that, John. All right. Michael asks, where do baby fish come from? They do them out in the toilet. That's what you tell your kids. They do them. They do them out. Or the stork brings them, I think. I don't know. Something like that. The fishy stork. Let's see. What did I miss? What about Saturday night panel? Using Hangouts? Yep. I tried to learn as much about doing that as much as I could whenever I went out to Jeremy's, but nothing against Jeremy at all. He's not the best teacher in the world. He's the best shower. So like, he can walk on his computer. Like, he showed me how to do his thumbnails, like how he does his thumbnails. He uses a little bit different software than I do, and it's kind of like how I did it, but he knows all the shortcuts, and he was going, you know. And then I think I got the gist of it on the Google Hangouts doing a live stream. But what I'll probably do, and I'd meant to talk to Dank about this, is I'll probably do like a practice one that's going to be marked as private or something like that, and do a practice one. Me and Dank and Michael and Jeremy hang out on Google Hangouts every once in a while anyhow, and it would just be one of those type of deals where I just need to figure it out. You know, that's what I really need to do, is just figure it out. And I meant to do that while I was at Jeremy's, and I didn't really learn it. There was only one full day that I was at Jeremy's. I got there on a Friday night, and I went over and we just hung out and talked fish for about 6 hours. But then the next day I went over there and we ran around and filmed all day long, you know, and then we had 2 live streams at the end of the night, and then I went home, and then the next morning took off and met him to get some fish from him. But, you know, that was one thing that I really wanted to do, because Jeremy's worked really good, and I would like to, like, once a month for sure have somebody on like that, you know. I just want to make for sure and test it out and practice it and get good at it to where I don't run a bunch of people off. You know, I want to give the person that I'm bringing on here the best chance at, you know, showcasing their stuff, you know. So more of that on the way. That's a good point, though. Lisa Aquatic says, I just noticed in my 65 planted tank black little bugs that jump. They are kind of hanging out above the water line and jump. Ooh. Any ideas? No. I have never had any black bug jumpers like that. Are they aquatic? Do they go down into the water, or they stay only on the top? They're kind of hanging out above the water line and jump. It almost sounds like gnats. It's what it almost sounds like. Or like fruit flies or something like that. Could have been something that came in on a plant. I really don't know. Bear says they are fun. I've been on a few of them with my woodworking channel. Cool. Water fleas, Candy says. It very well could be. I've seen what you're talking about before, but I've never had them in my aquariums, so I don't know. All right, I'm at the bottom of the chat. Possibly springtail looking creature. Matthew Moore Cichlids is in the house. What is up, Matthew? Nice to see you. Yeah, so what I brought home from the LFS today was my youngest son went with me today. One, I didn't want him to have to sit around and be bored all day long. Two, he likes going to fish stores. And three, I needed help loading and unloading my van for the ALS walk today. So I told him in payment for all of his help that he did for me today, which was a bunch of big help, and he got up really early with me and everything. I told him that I would buy him some fish at the fish store. So he got 3 pairs of fancy guppies, and that's what I brought home from the fish store today. John says, I was there last Friday, but I still go only 75 miles. What time are you planning on getting there if you go? I would like to, I'd probably be okay with getting there around 10. It'd almost be nice, to get there early, because if we get there late, stuff might already be sold out. But at the same time, it might not be a bad idea to get there a little bit early and wait too. Like get parking, because if there's going to be 600 people there, parking is going to be crazy. So it might not be a bad idea to go early. Yeah, I don't know. It's something we can talk about. I'm fine with it though, because next weekend my son goes to his mom, so I can leave as early as I want. Bears Fish says, gotta roll out. Have a great night, fishy people. Thanks for stopping by tonight. Nice to see you. BB23 says, Valley Fish is the white strain hard water indication. Is the white stain hard water indication? It usually is. It's like, it could be lime too, but hard water. Audio. Can you guys not hear me? Alright, so tell me how my audio is, guys, because I just seen 3 audio comments. Or 2 audio comments. I'm seeing 3. Anyone? 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 Maybe you guys can't hear me asking for you to tell me how my audio is. How is my audio? I hear you? Okay. Cool. Thanks, Candy. Can you not hear me, Mary? Did anyone see Lucas Brett's live stream today? He's at Aquashella, which I had a chance to go to that. I could actually even go to it tomorrow too, but I've just got way too much going on. I believe they were Royal Plecos, but in his live stream today from Aquashella, there's a booth that has Plecos that are like, he said 2 foot long, and their girth is like huge. Them things were gigantic. I really wish that I wouldn't have been lazy, and I wish that I would have went to it, I don't know. It's just one of those things where this is the last weekend I've got to get things done before my kids go back to school this next week, and I've got so much to do tomorrow. I mean, I've got a ton of things to do. So, but yeah, it was really cool. Steve's Fishy Palace says LRB stream was great. Yes, it was. Jad says she hears me fine. Daryl watched the replay. Whew. It is hot up in here. It wasn't that bad today here. I think the high was 85 and the breeze was nice. But this room gets warm. Steve's Fishy Palace says, did you see my LFS there? Wet Pets. Are you talking about in Davenport? I started school shopping today, Lisa Aquatics. I actually picked up my youngest son from his mom's yesterday morning. That was his last visit of the summer. Like usually he only goes there every other weekend, but during the summer he goes on some visits. And Friday I picked him up, and she actually did some school shopping this year. She usually does a little teeny bit, but this time it was huge. So I've got to go through it all tomorrow, but it looks like I got like lucky this year. I don't have to do a whole lot. I mean, I've got to do some. I paid a big chunk to the school already, but yeah, I don't have to do a whole lot. I need to go through everything and see what I need to get, but yeah, it was really nice of her. Pete Berlinski is in the house. What is up? Hey, hey, I'm a bit late. Better late than never, Pete. We've still got a good 30 minutes left. And actually, it always mixes me up. Jeremy is in Eastern time. And I thought he was going live after me because it said 8 Eastern. No. It did say 8 Eastern. No. I can't remember, but anyhow, I was thinking that he was going live after me, so I was thinking, well, tonight I just got to cut it off at an hour, but I don't have anything going. My oldest son is hanging out with buddies. My youngest son is asleep because his sleeping patterns are all still mixed up. So, yeah. Well, actually, I can't go too late because I do have to pick up my daughter from work at 9. Little man, 15, 16. Hello, Jeff. I'm Keegan's little brother. Are you Trey? What is up, buddy? Huh. Everyday Fish Keeper is in the house. Hello, everybody. What is up, Everyday Fish Keeper? Welcome to the live stream. Lisa says, that's great. Always nice when you have a bunch that has been taken care of. Yes. I mean, underwear, socks, those are a big deal. A bunch of shirts, that's a big deal. Shoes for the youngest, that's a big deal. So that means that I only really have to buy him gym shoes, you know. So that's a big deal right there. I mean, there was even a bag full of school supplies like notebooks, paper, blah blah blah, you know. I mean, that's a big deal. That can get really big at the shopping counter, you know. So yeah, definitely. Select Pet is in the house. Hi guys, out running around with family, so in and out. Welcome to the live stream. Select Pet says, you telling me wish I could have gone to Aquashella too. I could have too. I was like not quite halfway there, but pretty close. I would say I was probably within 3 hours ish, you know, maybe a little bit less of it. And right now I'm like 5 hours away from it. But it's absolutely out of the question to get there tomorrow. Charlie says, Jeffroz FishKeeping, who bought lunch today? LOL. We didn't get to meet until, gosh, I think it was like a little bit after 12:30, and it seems like we were there for an hour, somewhere around in there, and then we just parted our separate ways. I had those fish with me, so, you know, it's one of those things where whenever we ate on the way home, we just stopped at a drive-thru and got it and went. So yeah, we didn't eat out together today, but maybe next time. Allison Chains is in the house. She says, hello everyone. Hi, Jeffro. What is up, Allison Wallison? Inside joke, guys. Goodness gracious. Mad Cypress LL is in the house. Hi, Jeff. What is up, Mad Cypress? Welcome to the live stream. We're just hanging out tonight. Nothing special. Oh, 31 watching. Mob Guppy is in the house. The horses for the 8th at Del Mar are being loaded. Awesome. Dank says, you didn't go to lunch with Daryl Deemer? No, neither one of us really brought it up either. I mean, I really wasn't the hungriest in the world. We did grab something on the way home. Um, yeah, lol. DB23 says, here's my tip on school supplies. I am a junior in high school this year. Most of the time, notebooks are never used fully, so rip out the spare paper and use it next year. Yeah, my oldest son, he hardly ever needs very much at all, and he's like a junior this year too. Um, he hardly ever needs anything at all, but whenever you're still like middle school age, they want this, they want that. Most of the time, all it is um, they just want their supply there. Matt Cypress says, yeah, man, gonna do some water changes. I've got one fish room to do water changes in tomorrow, but all of these are caught up, and then all of my ones in my other fish room are caught up, but then my son's fish room, um, they're bad. I need to do them. I mean, the water quality isn't really all that bad, but like they're low. Like the evaporation is down really, really low in them. So, Dank says the way home, aka as soon as you started driving away. Dank, quit trying to act like you know me, dipstick. Oh, Dank. Yeah, and there's a story to that too. We we actually, when we were pulling out, we punched into the GPS restaurants, and we just started scrolling through. And Ashton's like, I kind of like to eat at Long John Silver's. I was like, cool, let's go there. Well, there's one-way traffic there, and you had to go way up and around a great big loop to get back to go one way to go there. And we pull up and it's all run down and empty, like it's closed. So then we punched in another one, and you had to do the same thing. You had to go way down around the loop to get around. And yeah. So Allison Chain says your thumbnail for the live stream is perfect. Yeah, I worked on that one the other night, and I made like a general one that just has me, and that picture comes from whenever I did a live stream with Jeremy like the week before I went out to visit him. And Sergeant Tank Pets is great at thumbnails. He just asked me to send him a couple of pictures with good lighting. One of them with my arms down to my side, and the other one with my arms like pointing or something, and that's what I did. And he cropped all the background out and made his thumbnail for the live stream that we did. Well, I kept those pictures, and recently I thought, I've kept this same thumbnail for my live streams forever, and I wanted to start like something a little fresh, like do a Q&A. My live streams always go non-stop the whole time. I mean, the chat's always going. There's never any real dead spots or anything like that. But as we grow, it would be kind of nice to, because there's some nights where I just sit there and I'm just reading in the chat, blah, 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 which is okay. I mean, and there's a random comment here and there, but at the same time, it would be nice to have some body to it, and then maybe eventually I can come up with some, names to the live stream or some topics or something like that. So Wednesday nights, my topic is Q&A, ask me anything within reason. So I decided to sit down and work on a thumbnail. Well, I worked on it for a long time, and I blocked out all the background of that same picture, of me pointing like this, and did the Q&A one, and then I changed a little bit of it for tonight's, chat with the Fish Fam. Yeah, so that's where that came from. But yeah, it kind of sticks out too. On like your news feed, that blue really pops, so I'm kind of happy with it. Okay, beers and all. Lisa Aquatic says my oldest is starting 9th, and she's costing me a small fortune. They continue to cost you a small fortune. My 24-year-old, she's living with me right now. been like maybe the last 6 to 8 weeks, somewhere around in there. Um, I think it's only going to last for another 2 or 3 weeks though. Um, then the 20-year-old, she wouldn't ask me for a dime, but every once in a while when I see her, I can kind of tell that she needs some help, so I help her out whenever I can. Um, and then, it's just like nonstop. Like last week, I paid, um, a big chunk of money to the school. Like I put $75 on their lunch account, so my 16-year-old, he always eats breakfast when he goes to school and he eats lunch. So, that's like $5 a pop. That $75 won't last very long. But then they had $75 for their computer fees. Um, and I never understood that because they get a big grant to buy all these computers, but then we have to pay $75 for each kid, and they call it an electronic fee or something like that. So I don't know if that's paying for their internet. I really don't get it. But anyhow, it's expensive. They call it like some kind of electronic registration fees or something. Dank says, "Tell her I said okay, Jeffro." Oh, yeah, you aren't saying okay. I know what you're saying. She's not here right now. I have to pick her up here in a little over an hour. Let's see. Mob Guppy says, "I'm picking up the 10th at Del Mar. I need 4 number between 1 and 8. I don't get it, Peter. I don't understand." Fish Out of Water is here. Come on, people. Super chat. Send Jeff some money. Why did I read that? Welcome to the live stream, Fish Out of Water. Today, you commented on something today. I can't remember. I think it was on Instagram, and I almost invited you tonight, but I was driving down the road, so I was trying not to type. Select Pet should think about a way for those of us unable to catch Wednesday live to submit questions you can answer if there's a dead spot in live questions. That's a really good point. Last year, I can't remember what time of the year it was or anything, and I don't even think I named my video Q&A, but on Instagram and Twitter, I posted doing a Q&A this week. Post your questions here. I could do one of those every week on one of my days so Mondays I do an Instagram post promoting my Monday video. Tuesdays I try to come up with something to do. So maybe Tuesdays I could do my Q&A Instagram post where I say tomorrow night's Q&A live stream. If anybody has any questions, post them here or something like that. And if it did get kind of slow, I could have it, pulled up. I could actually have that post pulled up on my phone. So very, very, very good suggestion, Select Pet. Thank you very much. That was awesome, actually. Mr. B's Fishing Things. Brandon is here. It never stops. What is up, Brandon? It doesn't ever stop. Like me, I don't think I've ever had to borrow money or anything from my mom and dad ever as an adult. I had to live with them for about 4 weeks one time when me and my ex-wife were split up one time when we were in our early 20s. I had to live with them for like a month. I remember one time when I was 19, I moved out when I was 17. One time when I was 19, I got hurt at work and had to have a hernia surgery. And my mom and dad paid one of my car payments. I had a car at the time that I was paying car payments on. And they just offered, and I said, no, I'll work with the lender or something, and they'll give me a month, to pay or whatever, because I had to file for workman's comp, and workman's comp is nice and everything, but you only get like 3/4 or 2/3 of your paycheck. So, being 19 years old and having one kid and a wife and a family, and so my mom and dad paid one car payment of mine, and I can't think of anything else over the years that, you know, and I didn't come to them and ask for it, and I wouldn't have either, you know, I just would have tried to work around it somehow, but it doesn't ever stop. Whenever you have a kid, it goes forever. Oh my gosh, I missed a couple of super chats. So let's go down here and look at these. Mary RNH20 with the $1.99 super chat for the AE, hopefully tip jar. I'm still up in the air on if I'm going to the aquatic experience in October or not, and Mary is working on me hardcore to go, because she's for sure going and she's wanting me to go too. I want to go. So Steve's Fishy Palace with the $5 super chat. Here's a 5 spot for a notebook or something. Those cost $5, right? Thanks a lot, Steve. They probably are. Lisa Aquatics with the $5 Canadian super chat. Back to school fun. Thanks a lot, Lisa. Appreciate it. If you guys have not checked out Lisa's Instagram, it is awesome. And another thing, Mary RNH20 this week, she kind of taught me something that I didn't know. And I've been wanting to buy some plants, okay? And I usually get my plants from Aquarium Co-op, and they're awesome. I mean, Corey, whenever he gets them, he puts them through the meltback stage. So a lot of these plants that we get in the hobby, guys, are growing, what do they call it, immersed, where it's growing above the water. And whenever you buy them, they have not been underwater for very long, so whenever you buy them, they melt back, and you're thinking, oh crud, my plants have died. And sometimes you throw them out when really all you got to do is just keep on giving them TLC, root tabs, you know, and they'll eventually come out of it, but it takes a while. Well, Corey from Aquarium Co-op, he puts them through a big quarantine stage when he can. Sometimes when he buys, you know, and has a big sale, he can't do that because he sells them so quickly. But when you get Corey's plants, they have been in a CO2 tank. They have been having some TLC, you know. They're beautiful. I've never had a problem with anything that I've ever gotten from Corey. But Mary ordered some plants last week or the week before from Dustin's Fish Tanks. And Dustin, he sells a lot of aquarium plants too. So she came across this way that you can, on the editor's page or the editor's email or something, you can send a link to your video if you do an unboxing for Dustin's Fish Tanks, and they'll post it on their community tab. Well, she did that, and her video did really, really good. Dustin gave her a great big shout out. So I ordered some plants, and I just shot unboxing, and I'm going to try to do the same thing. So thank you, Mary RNH20, for that big how-to there. Mob Guppy says, where did it go? Where did it go? Mob Guppy says, I'm picking the Superfecta for 10 cents. I need 4 numbers between 1 and 8, and I will make that play. Oh, for the horse races. I'm like, what are you talking about? Maxwell Soneman says, have you ever bred Corridoras? I haven't, and I've never personally kept them. My son has had some panda Corys before. He kept like 2 or 3. I think he had 3 panda Corys, and he got them, and they were real small, and we grew them out really big, and then he kind of lost interest in them, and he made a deal with our LFS over Facebook, and I didn't even get a chance to get them from him. I would have liked to have got them from him. The LFS that I went to today, though, has a bunch of Corys, and he's got some really awesome ones, and he's got that 25% off next week. So I probably will come home with some Corridoras. I would like to, anyhow. But I haven't ever bred any. I've never actually personally kept any, but I want to. They're awesome fish. They've got a really neat personality. Skogs. Dank is thinking. Susan for SLC Aquatics is here. What is up, Susan? Didn't even see ya. I seen your comment. Click like and share, but I didn't see your name. And then I come down here and Daryl said hi, Susan. So it's really nice when you guys say hi when someone comes, because it helps me not miss them. Um, VB23 notebook costs like 50 cents. That's funny. Let's see here. My High Plecos says brown chicken, brown cow. Um, Brown. We taught Jeffroz to play. It's been a while since I had to buy one. I thought inflation was a lot worse, I guess. That is funny. Okay. Let's see what Dank says here. No skogs there. Just destroying the rainforest even faster nowadays. Oh, so VB23 says I got straight A's, which congratulations. I did see that on King Lee, um, on King Lee's Instagram. He made a post this last week that VB23 got straight A's for a certain period of time that King Lee said, and if he got straight A's, that King Lee was going to give him some of his really awesome guppies, and that is awesome, actually. I've got one Brainiac out of all my kids. Now, my oldest, my 24-year-old, she kept like a B average. She could have done better, but she didn't strive harder. My 20-year-old kept a C average. She could have had A's, but she didn't strive harder. But my 16-year-old has got like a 4.0 for life. You know, he's always got like a 4.0 grade point average. So, and he's got a bunch of college stuff set up that where he's going to have his college paid for and stuff. So he's going to be able to go out there and try to be whatever he wants to be, you know, and it's going to be pretty awesome. And then my youngest, he is always in advanced classes. Like my 16-year-old has always been like a grade above in a lot of subjects. Like in his grade school years, there was like 3 or 4 subjects where he was always pushed forward a grade. And then middle school, he was like, whenever he was in the 7th grade, he was already going to 8th grade classes. And then whenever he was in the 9th grade, whenever he was in the 8th grade, he was already going over to the high school for like half the day. And he could graduate this year, halfway through the year if he wanted to, because he's already got all the credits. But he's going to finish out this year, and he's also going to go next year because they'll allow him to start doing some kind of college credit courses. So, yeah. But congratulations, BB23. Really awesome. Lisa Aquatic says, all right, I got to get these kiddos to bed. Jeffroz FishKeeping. Thanks for the stream. See you later. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for coming, Lisa, and you have a great rest of the weekend. Good night. Let's see. We're at the 1 hour mark here. Dank says they are cool. The ones with the yellow orange under the pectoral. And what number were those, Dank? I want Adolphoi. Adolphoi Corys. Yeah, they are nice. He had some panda Corys that were really, really light colored. I mean, they looked really dynamic. And then he had some really nice albino Corys. Then he had some Julii Corys. He had tons of Corys. And I'm in love with Corys. I've always liked them. I like that they're a bottom dweller, but most of my tanks have plecos. But I think I can find something to put them in. Especially if I come home with a couple of 40-gallon breeders tomorrow. I might put a couple of 40-gallon breeders right back here. Make a stand right behind me. That's what I might do. Make it really awkward up in my bedroom. Oh man. Brandon says, yeah, my daughter excelled in underachieving, too smart for her own good. My son is ahead, skipped a grade, has credits ahead. Yes, I was the same way. I made A's in high B's all the way until I got to like the 10th grade, and then I kind of lost interest. I had some kind of ornery teachers, and I kind of lost interest, so I started having like a C plus average my junior and senior year. So I kind of get it. Mary says awesomeness at Jeffroz. Dang, I'm a gold medal winner. No, not really, dang. Okay. Valley Fish is in the house. I like the 29 over the 40. Um, I really like the 40. Um, is the 29 the same depth, like floor plan, as the 40? Because I think this one is a 29 and it's the same length as a 40 and the same height as a 40, but the depth isn't. So that one would only, this one up here would really be good for like angelfish and stuff like that. It's like a taller tank, but like the 40-gallon breeders are wider, and I like that for like plecos and stuff and shrimp because it gives them more floor space. BB23 says, Jeffro, can I DM you on Instagram? I'm pretty sure you could, bud. I think what it does is if you've never DM'd someone, it will send me like some kind of a request. So if I see like up in the top right hand corner, I'll see like some kind of a notification. Mary says 4.0 here at nursing school. Congratulations. If you guys don't know, Mary is becoming a nurse, and she studies really, really hard, guys. I talk to Mary quite a bit, and she goes to bed really early and gets up really early. Like she gets up at like 4 in the morning and commutes to school, and like she stays up, and she's just has her nose in the books all the time. She's on a mission. So yeah, Dank says Mary said I was a gold medal winner. You're not really though, Dank. You probably are at frog keeping. Turtles, maybe silver. Oh, boom, boom. That was cruel. I shouldn't have went there. Oddball Aquatic says I dropped out of high school with straight A's because I went to a horrible little school in the country. Yep. I've seen that. I've seen it. You know, it's tough. You know, those teenage years are tough. Dank says, I just did fine in school. I got my diploma. Yep, I did too. I didn't get the diploma for my electronics class, though. Like, I did a 2-year electronics class, and I learned everything, but I just didn't score high enough, I guess, to be able to get the diploma. I think you had to have, like, a B+ average in there. Oddball Aquatic says, I got an honors GED. Yep, and, you know, that... they look at that as the same. You know, the only problem with dropping out is you miss out on some experiences. Chicken blocker. Oh, dang, you're crazy. Mile High Pleco says I'm a high school dropout. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, like, I don't recommend it. You know, and I'm sure a lot of people that have dropped out probably don't recommend it. You know, they wouldn't want their kids to do it. Like my son, he wanted to graduate halfway through this year. So this is kind of not the same thing as dropping out of school, but he has the capabilities where he has done everything right so far where he could have graduated halfway through the year. But like what I told him is he's a very sociable person, and nowadays it's kind of different too. Even someone that drops out, it's the way social media is. You can stay involved with all of your friends from school and everything. So it's not like if you drop out, you're ostracized and you can't talk to anyone anymore. But I tried telling him there's all these experiences that you can experience. Like our basketball team this last year went to the final, you know, in state. You know, we've got a kid that's in my son's grade that's 6'11". He's already got offers from all these different colleges all over the U.S. Like the biggest one just the other day came where Kansas offered him a free ride scholarship, and Kansas is always there every year in the NCAA. You know, well, anyhow, we're probably going to be pretty strong every year. You know, I mean, for this year and next year for sure, We've got a really good program, and we've got a lot of people coming back this year. And you know, he's going to miss part of that if he graduates halfway through the year. You know, I mean, um, there's tons of more experiences than that, though. But I'm glad that I did stick it out, even though I wanted to be done with school so bad. I was so glad when school was out. I didn't want to have nothing to do with college, and both of my oldest daughters were the same way. They burned out of school so bad they did not want to have nothing to do with college, and it kind of stunk a little bit for me because I wanted, you know, nobody in my family has ever went to college. So I think my 16-year-old is going to do it though. So, and it's not even like you have to go to college or anything, but in the real world, people that have a college degree get to start out at certain jobs that people like me could start out at without a college degree. They start out $1, $2, sometimes more per hour doing the same job as me. So like I worked at a job that I'd been working there for like 2 years to get to this certain pay, and this guy comes in with less experience than me, but he had a college degree and he started out more per hour. And you know, that was a hard pill for me to swallow. But if they wouldn't have hired him, he was a perfect candidate for the job. He would have got a job somewhere else, and they had to pay it because he had a college degree. It's kind of crazy, but Oddball Aquatic says, I'm homeschooling my kid. She's only 3, but can already do all her letters and numbers and colors and is starting to learn to write. That is awesome, actually. If I had any advice for anyone that has a little one to get them to do good in school and to do good at anything, it is reading and having them learn how to read. So the ABCs is the beginning of that, of course, but reading with your children and getting them involved in reading and learning to read really, really good, and just turn them into like a bookworm and just keep on it helps them so much. Because like even to this day, I have troubles retaining what I'm reading. So if I sat down and read a book, unless I really got into it, I would have troubles retaining it. And reading helps you on everything, because if you can read the question on the test in science and understand it and retain it, if you can read that book when you're studying it in class and retain it, your test is going to score so much better. And reading is like the building block to all of it, in my opinion. All of my kids have all been readers, and they all are smarter than a whip. So that is that. We have went over the hour mark. I'll probably go for another 20 minutes because I do have to go pick up my daughter here in a bit. We've got 25 people still here. Yeah. All of my kids love it when school gets out, and then they enjoy it throughout the summer. And then they start talking about, oh, summer's going by so fast. But then the week before school starts, they're like, I'm kind of looking forward to going back to school. So I can remember those thoughts too. Oddball Aquatic says, agreed with all of that. LOL. Yeah, the reading, you know, we always had tons of books laying around. You know, like Austin was a real big time bookworm, and he's a 4.0 student, and he can read quick. He can read faster than me. Like I can't have people talking to me when I'm reading either. Like I'll be reading an email or something, and someone will come in, and it's just like I'm trying to ignore them, but it's like getting into my head, you know. Steve's Fishy Palace says, gotta run. Thanks for the stream, Jeffro. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for coming, Steve. I really appreciate you showing up tonight. And if you want to come back Wednesday night, we'll have a Q&A stream where you can ask me anything. Sounds so enjoyable, doesn't it? Hopefully you have a great rest of the weekend. I cannot wait to get out of this hot room. Oh my gosh, it's hot in here. I wish I had a thermometer to tell me how hot it was in here. It's just real muggy, you know. It's a fish room, so it's like real humid. Mile High Pleco says college jobs are boring. Who wants to be stuck inside at a desk all day long? Well, I'll tell you, when I went through my divorce, I had an awesome attorney, and I learned a lot of things through my divorce. I mean, my divorce went for a whole year, and it had a child custody battle going on with it, and I learned so much, and I went exactly to the T. Every time something weird was going on, I called up my attorney, and it cost me $40 every time I called him, which, cha-ching, well, that wouldn't be too boring, you know? $40 just for a phone call. But anyhow, I learned so much from him. I was like, man, I wish that I would have went to school to become an attorney. I would love to be an attorney. It would be so much fun. And then I just think being an attorney would be awesome. And then one time I heard what our superintendent for the schools made, and I was like, whoa, you know, like $300K a year. I'm like, whoa, you know, I mean, I'm sure they put in a lot of long hours, and that would suck. My son wants to do something like, he wants to be an orthopedic surgeon, but I'm like, dude, that's 8 years of college. You know, you're not going to be able to afford that. I doubt that he'll be able to do that unless he gets some kind of help along with it. But Devin Peppers is in the house. Hey everyone, sorry missed the stream. Stuck at work, but just got on break. Well, if you are still here, Devin, I went over to Davenport today and I met Daryl Deemer at this really awesome fish store. And next weekend they're having a 25th anniversary. So I don't know how far into Illinois you are, but if you want, they're having a 25-year anniversary sale where they've got like 25% off all their livestock and dry goods and stuff, and then they're having $1 per gallon. So I don't know if you want to go to that or anything. Oddball Aquatic says, I would love to be an attorney because I'm great at debate, but I've got a serious problem with authority and also no filter on my mouth. So I'm pretty sure I would always be in contempt of court. Yep. Overruled. I object. Yep. What you could do though is you could do like some type of law. And another thing about being an attorney is, you know, I don't know how much you guys have been involved with attorneys, but first thing your attorney does whenever you go in there is he looks up the other person that you're there for to see if he's ever worked with them before. And if he's ever worked with them before, he can't represent you. And the same way with them, they can't go into your attorney and go against you. So that opens it up for other attorneys in the town to prosper. You know, I mean, you are in a big city and everyone's used this one attorney and they're needing to go up against each other. They can't use that attorney to go against each other. It's a conflict of interest. So that means that, you know, you could open up your own little thing in a small little town and do pretty good probably. That's what I think. Stop badgering the witness. I probably would. I probably would badger the witness. Oh man, I got took to court one time from a job. I was in a non-compete, and oh my gosh, their attorneys, they came with 7 attorneys against me and my one attorney. I felt so poor and stupid that day. I was like, whoa, they all come in with briefcases and laptops, and yeah, that company, they pulled in the big dogs, and their attorneys were badgering me. Those jerks. Select Pet says, had a security job in college watching monitors of an empty building. So boring. Yeah. I think that's what Sergeant Tanks used to do too, but his was on a bigger scale. Like he was hired by like malls, but his was like deeper. It was to watch for like crime rings and stuff, you know. I seen somebody said hi Jeremy, but I don't see Jeremy here. Well, if you are here, Jeremy, there you are. Sergeant Tank Pets, you changed your emoji. I didn't notice you. Howdy, buddy. Oh, okay. BB23 does bring up a good point. Of course, your son can. School is expensive, but if you push through, the job should pay for it. Yeah, so he could possibly go to 4 years, get like some kind of internship that maybe they might pay for another additional schooling or something to get whatever degree he needs for the 4 more years or 2 more years or whatever. That's a great point. I'm not trying to talk him out of it. I'm just trying to look at it as an adult standpoint, like an orthopedic surgeon, like his orthopedic surgeon. It'd be 2 years ago here in a couple weeks. My 16-year-old son was in a severe moped accident. He's driving down the street, minding his own business, and this parked car starts up their car and turns right in front of him and just does a U-turn in the road. They just started up their car and did a U-turn in the road. And he T-boned that car, and it snapped his tibia and fibia in half. His leg was just dangling there. Of course, he got great big lacerations on his neck, no muscle damage in his neck, but just severe scarring here. For the longest time, it was really bad. His neck and head went through her back glass of her car. Had a great big gash across his forehead, 2 brain bleeds, severe concussion, and then a great big cut across the chest. And then other than that, he had full body whiplash and then broken tib and fib complete. Now, they weren't torn through the skin, so it wasn't like a compound fracture, but all that damage that a compound fracture does was done inside his leg. So he had altogether 7 or 8 surgeries on his leg. And his orthopedic surgeon would come up with a plan, but then at night he would go home and he would think about my son. And then he would come back in the next day and talk to us about what he thought about overnight, And his hours were like 4 in the morning, 11 at night sometimes. I mean, like, that surgeon had my son's leg in his hands. It was all his brain to put my son's leg back together. And that's what inspired my son to want to become an orthopedic surgeon. But to me, inside my heart, I'm too chicken to have somebody's life, like their bones, in my hands. My brain has to be the one to make them have a great outcome. But my son is smart enough to learn the books. If he wants to do it, I'm going to support him. But I've tried to talk him out of it minorly. Not big time, but minorly. I'm like, become an attorney. VB23 brings up a good point. If the Fish Fam was an attorney, USPS would be sued. John Bedker says, just bought another 36-inch LED for my 60 frag. Decided it wasn't enough light to hit the whole tank. I did notice that whenever I was editing. There were some dark spots. The videos turned out great, by the way, but the frag tank was a little dark. So did you go with the same lighting that you've been doing with the timers and everything? Uh-oh, Dank's putting a high bar out there, Crayola. I want to be a red crayon when I grow up. Oh, Dank. Boom, 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 boom. Seatbelt does not damage, but saves lives. I've never had any problems with seatbelts. When I was 19 years old, I got a job driving a van for a medical supply company. And in the policy and procedures handbook, it is mandatory that whenever you get out of your van, you lock the doors. So if a boss ever came around and they checked your doors and they were unlocked, you could get wrote up for it. We had oxygen in there, and it's a federally regulated drug, and you had to have the doors locked. Also, if you ever got caught without your seatbelt on, they could write you up. Well, I've always had kids and a family, and my jobs are a priority to me. Like, if I have rules, I follow them because I don't want to lose my job. My kids depend on my income. So, it is second nature for me to get in a vehicle and seatbelt. And all of my kids picked up on that with me. So every last one of my kids, I never have to ask them to put their seatbelt on. Every last one of my kids always wear their seatbelt. John Bedker says, yep, same one, just two now. Awesome. Yeah, I would say the 40-gallon breeders aren't near as long as your 60-gallon frag, or deep, I mean. Um, but certain lights on these 40-gallon breeders, the spectrum doesn't spread out too. Now this one I've got on there now, it spreads out a lot better than the one that I had. The Night Crew lights don't spread out. The spectrum doesn't spread out enough. So this planted aquarium here, I've got one of those Aquaneat eBay ones, and the spectrum, the light isn't as wide as what the other one was, but the spectrum shines brighter and wider. So, yep. BB23 says, I volunteer at my local hospital, and my grandpa and pop was a long-term patient there. My grandpa's cardiologist inspired me and sparked an interest. That is amazing. Oddball Aquatic says, we gotta let Jeffro out of his room. He's getting pretty sweaty and looks like dehydration is setting in. I've got plenty of fluids here. I've got another water bottle that I haven't even opened yet. I just, whenever I add, I've got to release it sometimes, so eventually I'll have to get out of here and get rid of some water. It's usually the first thing I do when I get done with the live stream. I run to the bathroom. Beer hydrates, right? Yeah, it does a little bit. It's all beer and dip. Bud and Grizz. What did Candy say? Candy says, things like that happen for a reason, Jeff, and sometimes gives a person like your son a purpose he was meant for. Definitely. That's why I've barely scratched at it with him, because he's set on it, like he really is, and he would be a great one. He loved his doctor too. His doctor was cool. Shenandoah Nowosa out of Des Moines Orthopedics in Des Moines, Iowa was his doctor, and I believe he's from South Africa. The dude was just like your friend. I mean, this guy was a special person that really went home and really actually thought about my son's case, because my son had all kinds of complications along the way. I mean, the trauma was so bad that he had to have a fasciotomy, where a fasciotomy is there's so much damage inside that they've got to pack the wounds and let them heal before they can close your leg, because they had to go in there and they had to set the bone. So then they put this external fixator on there, which is a great big steel rod with all these pins that get drilled down into your bone to keep it set. But then that cut that they opened up, all of that tissue inside there was damaged so much. So that's what the fasciotomy is. And every day it had to be unpacked and repacked with fresh dressings and fresh wound care stuff. And then he had to have a wound vac on that would suck all the slurpy bacterial stuff out. And then he had to have 3 of those. So he had to be put under 3 times every time to have that cleaned out. And then he had to have 3 more surgeries to repair the bone and put plates on. And then he had to have another surgery like 4 or 5 months later, because the plates that were on his leg were making raw spots on the inside, and it was making ulcers all the way to the outside of the skin from the bone. So the dude was an awesome surgeon, but he really actually went home. There was things that was going on with my son's leg that he hadn't seen before, is what the problem was. You know, he'd never seen someone have problems with those plates. Now he's got the experience where he's seen it. I mean, my son just doesn't have a lot of meat on his shin bone, is what the deal is. Let's see here. Oddball Aquatic says, orthopedic surgeon is a fun job, lots of inviting and drilling and hardware and building stuff from nothing. He would be a rock star, definitely, and he would have the scars to prove it. So like if he had a shy patient or something like that, you know, he could say, look at my leg, guys. Devin Pepper says, so where's the anniversary thing you were talking about exactly? It's at Aquatic. Let's see, I've got the card. Oh, it was in my pocket. Hang on a second here. It is right there. It's not focusing. Right there, Devin. 730 East Kimberling Road, Davenport, Iowa. So if you Google that, that'll tell you exactly where it's at. It starts at 10 o'clock next Saturday. And there's supposedly going to be like 600 people there. So I think it's going to be a big deal. And plus I want some aquariums. I've been looking, I haven't been able to get in on the dollar per gallon sale in a long time. And that's when I buy my 40-gallon breeders. And the 40-gallon breeders usually on the dollar per gallon sales at the big box stores are only half price. So you still got to pay like $47 plus tax. But this is actually dollar per gallon all the way up to 75-gallon tanks. So you could get a 75-gallon tank for $75. You can get a 55-gallon tank for $55. That's cheap, guys. It really is for a brand new tank. And then 25% off of all livestock. And they're going to have food, so they'll have like hot dogs and drinks and a bunch of people there. So like I could wear my shirt and promote my channel while I'm there and everything. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to go. I might as well. I'd be stupid not to. Oddball Aquatic says, speaking of Doctor Strange, I finally saw Infinity Wars, and all I can say is, seriously? Joel G. NZ is here. Hello, what is up, Joel? Nice to see you. We've only got 4 minutes left of the live stream. Daryl says he just seen that movie. Mary says surgeons are definitely talented and usually pretty darn good at what they do. Yep. And, I even told my son too, like the hours are crazy. Surgeons are on call. Like, it's like weird hours, like crazy early in the morning. I'm sure they make a real good wage, but I would say the positives probably outweigh. It's probably way more than just for the money, Dank Tank says Jewel. Joel says damn. Yeah, I got to go get my daughter from work here in a little bit, and I've already been going for almost an hour and a half here, so yippers. And she asked me that this morning. She said, well, I need to have somebody else come and get me. And I said, no, I won't go that long tonight on tonight's live stream. So I promised her I'd come and get her. I haven't heard from her, so she's probably had a really busy day. Select Pet says, Joel, you live streaming next, right? I'm always trying to get Dank to live stream too. And he's just kind of chicken. It takes a lot to get past that first time, though, really. The thing that was holding me up the most is I didn't want to have a boring, slow live stream, At the time, I'm pretty sure I only had like right around 200 subscribers whenever I started going live. And all I could think of is I get like 35, 40 views on my videos. Like, is anybody even going to show up to my live stream? And it's been, every last one of my live streams have been amazing. You guys have just showed up. Mary says, get your BB girl, Jeffro. My BB girl. My baby girl. Dank, he called you chicken. Chicken, question mark. Sergeant Tank Pet says, what's live streaming? LOL. Yeah, no kidding. Jeremy, I think, is live streamed probably like 600 or 700 times. I'm only on I haven't even got to 50 yet. I'm getting close to 50, which is pretty big for me. But what I'm thinking of is like here in a couple weeks, we're at September, and it's like, holy cow, the 9th month of the year. Like, this year is going by quick. Dank. Jeffro headhunting Dank. Nah, I'm just teasing you, buddy. I teased you earlier in the stream, and you didn't even give me a hard time. I can't even remember what I teased you about, too. Now I can. I don't want to bring it back up, either. You evidently weren't listening. Oh, yeah, the chicken. DB23 says, I love live streams. Yep, I'm a live stream addict. I go to everybody's live streams that I can. I try to support everyone in the community as much as possible. Yeah, I'm a love stream. Mine are love streams, I'm a live stream addict. It's a great hangout and stress relief. Yeah, lots of times I'll do like water changes and stuff, though. Yeah, Mary brings up a good point, but Dank's numero uno. Yeah, me and Dank, we talk numerous times a day. Dank is a real good go-to. Yeah, he's a gold medal winner in my eyes. Um, yeah, me and Dank, gosh, I guarantee you, um, you know, like every time I meet someone that I haven't met before, I guarantee it's like, gosh, I wish Dank lived closer. Because Dank, I'm pretty sure Dank said if you drive to Dank, you've got to go up into Canada for like 6 or 7 hours and then go back down into New York for like 3 hours. I looked it up one time and I think it's like a 24-hour drive to Dank's house. It's like, geesh, Dank's putting out the rainbows. Uh-oh. TM Aquatics is here. Hi, Jeff. I'm late, but we'll be sure to catch the replay. Well, any time is a good time except for whenever it's the very, very end. But thanks for stopping in, buddy. We are at the hour and a half minute mark. Thanks for everybody that stopped by. Don't forget, Monday morning at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, the vice president of the Grand Valley Fish Club's Fish Room Tour, Chris, was nice enough to let me film his fish room, and the dude knows his stuff. If you guys didn't see Jeremy's live stream right before mine, go back and check it out. You get to see him. His fish room tour video is up Monday morning. And other than that, I will see you guys right back here Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for another Q&A video. And hopefully you guys have a great rest of the weekend. And peace out, y'all. Peace out.